Hi guys, and I'm back with a review. This time it's on one of the world's famous locos, the Mallard. This version is before it set the speed record because it hasn't got the plaque in the centre of the boiler about there somewhere. This one's roughly about 2000, Hornby 2001. The packaging's sort of like in the middle. I won't show you it, but it's like half polystyrene and half plastic. The polystyrene comes in two parts, and the plastic holds it together. So yeah, and it has pickups on the tender wheels as well. So I'm guessing it's the crossover point. I could be wrong. So yeah, I got this one from Banbury in Oxfordshire, and yeah, I thought I'd review it. I know there's probably thousands of reviews of an A4 or the Mallard out there already. But yeah, this is my take, and who knows, you might learn something, you might not. Here is some model information on the A4. The distinctive shape of the A4 was an obvious choice for manufacturers, with the example being in the majorly of the popular scale, including wooden examples for Biro wooden railways. One of the first two Hornby Duplo locomotives, produced in 1938, was an A4. In 1999, a super detailed Hornby A4 was released. Later, it would be in the railroad range, a lot more dumbed down. Hornby also produced a 00 scale live steam version in September 2003 that used an electric heater boiler to produce the steam, not previously possible in such a small model. Trix produced a 00 scale of the A4 from the 70s, and it was rebranded as Lupin models in 1974 and survives to this day in a modified form as a Bachmann locomotive, KDAR. Bachmann parent company had brought Lupin in 1993. Dapple produced several variants of the A4 in N-gauge, and have also expanded to their black label range, includes as well as an A4, and there is a Corgi one and other static versions out there and kits too. So yeah, let's start on the front of the locomotive. As always, the loco does have metal sprung buffers. It comes with chain link and separately applied piping already. It has 1, 2, 3 lamp irons. It also has the fourth one there, as the hinge is made out, but it doesn't open for the smoke box. We have the number of the loco, the class, and I think the shed as well is down there. We have a handrail and some separately applied piping by Hornby. We have the whistle that's separately applied, and this one has 2 chimneys, a double chimney. And then as you all can see, it has a red and white lining around the front. So yeah, as we move on to the side of the loco, the skirtings are still attached. There's some rubber styled footing there for the driver or crew to maintain the loco. We have the name badge, which is separately applied as well. We have detail here. There's no plaque in the centre, as I mentioned before. And it's just a very lovely livery in the blue. The wheels are also in red, and they don't come across red on here. As we move further down on the loco, we have the washout plugs just here. We have the glazing too. We have I think it's a shield there for the driver. We have the number of the loco, 4468. We have the builder's plate. We have the end of that stuff to help the drivers get up to maintain the loco. We have vents that do move. Now how you can see that they move, they open and shut. We have the whistles as well, the safety valves as well. We also have a fixed pony truck, or rear truck, whatever you call it. As we look in the cab, most things, or everything, is picked out and painted. Even the shelf where they put their mug of teas on top of, above the fire. It's a really nice job there by Hornby. The front of the tender, as you can see, we have the chute where the coal comes out of. We also have handrails at the side for the driver and fireman. We have scoops to help with the water and pressure, I believe. Pictured out in gold. And we have some other moulded detail too. As we move on to the tender, we have the famous lettering of the LNER. We also have it's an 8-wheel tender. It does have pickups on all wheels, I believe. The coal load isn't too bad, and I can't see much from here. The coal load isn't too bad. And I believe this is a streamline one. As we move on to the back of the tender, it has a small tension lock coupling, sprung buffers, pipes, 1, 2, 3 handrails, lamp irons again, I think it's 3. We also have the steps going up, which look a little bit out of scale, but I don't know, and we have a red buffer beam. All the wheels here are one moulding, not like on the older Hornby ones. Here is some information on the A4 class. The A4 class is a class of steam locomotives that is a 462, designed by Sir Nigel Gresley for the London North East Railway in 1935. Their streamlined design gave them high speed capacities, as well as making them instantly recognisable. One of the class, 4468, the Mallard, holds the world record for the fastest steam locomotive ever. 35 of them were built in the class. Horde Express passenger trains on the East Coast mainline route between King's Cross via York to Newcastle, and then later via Newcastle to Edinburgh, Scotland. They remained in service on the East Coast line until the early 60s, when they were replaced by the Deltix diesel class of locomotive. Several A4s saw out the remaining days until 1966 in Scotland, particularly on the Aberdeen to Glasgow Express trains, which they were used to improve times from 3.5 to 3 hours. Here is some information on the class. The power type is steam. Designer is Gresley. The builders is Doncaster Works. They were built between 1935 and 38, and 35 of them are built or were built. The wheel configuration is a 462. Their fuel is coal. Loco brakes are vacuum. Train brakes are vacuum too. But numbers 6007, 6009 and 60019 have been fitted with air brakes. Cylinders is free as well. They operated on the LNER and the BR. The class is an A4. The nickname were the Streaks. They were drawn between 1942, 1962 to 66, and 6 are preserved and the rest are sadly scrapped. Here is some information on the loco we just looked at. It came into service on Thursday the 3rd of the 3rd, 1938 at Doncaster. It was withdrawn on Thursday the 25th of the 4th, 1963 at King's Cross. Its service life is 25 years, 1 month and 22 days. Shed codes for the loco, as far as I know, is Doncaster from the 3rd of the 3rd, 38. Grantham from the 21st of the 10th, 1943. And as we know, the last one is King's Cross, the 11th of the 4th, 1948. It's also had a mixture of numbers it ran with. The LNER 1943 number is 4468, and I had that from the 3rd to the 3rd, 38. Its second number from 1946 is 607. Second alinear number in 1946 is 22, and I add it from the 29th of the 9th, 1946. And its BR number is E22, and I add that from the 5th of the 3rd, 1948. And its final BR number, I believe, is 60022. I add that from the 16th of the 9th, 1949. Here is some brief modifications the loco had. On the 13th of the 6th, 1942, side skirts were removed. On the 10th of the 2nd, 1953, automatic warning system was fitted, AWS. On the 8th of the 5th, 1953 as well, the long guard irons were removed. And on the 9th of the 3rd, 1960, speedometer was fitted as well. So yeah guys, that's it on the track. Next up will be points test. I expect to do pretty well, so you know it has pickups on everything. The only thing it won't do is second radius. It keeps getting caught here. So no second radius, third only, which is a shame, but... So yeah, next up is the point test. So yeah, that was a pretty good. About 10 o'clock on the controller, which is not too bad. Next up is slow speed, and then random shots and a running friend for her. So yeah guys, that's the end of the video. Yeah, it's quite a nice logo. Yes, it has a squeak. I've oiled every wheel, still squeaking. So I don't know what to do. I don't really want to take the shell off and oil the motor, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with the motor. It sounds like it's coming from the tender. So I'll have to investigate that one. But apart from the squeak, it's not too bad. Stunning loco, well worth the money. Even though everyone has a Mallard, it doesn't bother me. Lovely. Only disappointing thing, like I said, was the second radius. Because of that overhang there, it won't do second radius. But it is what it is. In the history, I forgot to mention that Spencer from Thomas Tank is an A4. It's the only thing I forgot to mention. With it we had, I think it's a D11. You can see there, Prince Albert. Yeah, I'm guessing it means something totally different back then than it does now. Obviously it's named after a prince, I believe, a Scottish prince. So yeah, Prince Albert. We were running with some, well, Great Western British Rail stock, mainline and backman, I believe. Seems to be our colours. This one had teaks, you know, obviously. Then we have, if I zoom in, you can see, we have the Ivert Class 4 by Bachmann. We have A2, I believe, Tude Minstrel, I believe it is. Then this thing here is the N2 by Hornby. Still the same moulding as mainline or Airfix, depending on which one you had. So yeah, would I get one now? Is the question. I would say, if it's this model at the price I paid, or a bit less, yes. If it's the brand new Hornby one, no. I'm sorry, no. So yeah, that's the review. If any of you would like a tribute video being done, or a review, or a running session of any of my stock, please let me know. I am happy to do it. Hopefully soon I should have a special loco that I've been paid for like 3 years ago on its way to me. But yeah, until that point, guys, it's goodbye from these beauties, and it's goodbye from me. Bye.